Wait for a few of you guys to come in. Oh, good Saturday morning. Good morning. It's a rainy, foggy few days here, and it's just damp and foggy, windy, cold this morning here. Oh, but that coffee is warm. Good morning, Paul. Rick, good morning, Rick. Dylan, Andrew. Look, the camera's making it look a little brighter. You can't tell, but right from here up is just solid gray fog. Just this week, good morning, JP. Just this week, I topped the hill here, coming down to the shop with my girls, and there was a huge red fox, beautiful fox, with a big live rabbit hanging out of his jaws. That was a treat. Yeah, it's been a nasty few days. The start of the week was gorgeous, nice weather, but now we have it the other way, which, as I explained to my girls, is not a bad thing, especially considering all the west coast of NL right now is, I believe, burning up, or not NL, of Canada, burning up with fires and stuff. We'll take some good rain, soak her down. Just been here this morning so far, working on leather. Here last night I was working on leather work. I've took a bunch home last night. My wife just might be home stitching some right now. We'll see. And we've been a pretty good week of production. Oh, Rick, nice. It's cold here. We for most of this week, it didn't have any fire in here at the shop, but last night and this morning had to put in some fire because it is chilly. I think she's dying down there now by the feel of it, but I didn't want the blower to be cut in, so I left it out. I've got if you hear any noise going on, I've got a gentleman here right now out working on the front part of the shop doing some carpentry work. That's what's going on here this morning. Dylan in Arkansas, nice. I would imagine you get some, I believe you get some pretty vicious heat down there. I have a good friend and his extended family, actually his mom and her side of the family are from down there in Arkansas. And I believe they get some pretty vicious heat. He was actually telling me, I believe it's Arkansas, yeah. There's actually a law there that if you witness a crime and you are able to intervene and you don't, then you can be charged. I believe that's the case. Something on those rough lines. I might be getting a little bit off, but Dylan, if you could clarify, I thought that was pretty interesting. It was certainly helping the cases of some of those riots and stuff going on. People just laughing and taking it all in. Meanwhile, they're destroying stores and buildings and stuff. Special glances, Rick. I can show glances of work that I have here on the bench right here this morning. Morning, Robert. So I've got lots of leather work. So these are all ready to be stitched here now. Edges are burnished, as you can see. These are kind of an antiqued finish. That little bit of sunburst finish. Morning, Ian. And then not oil or anything. You can see very matte finish there right now. These will be stitched, and then after stitching, they'll be oiled and treated. I'll show you a few knives here I have on the bench this morning. You can, oh, hey, Steve. Oh, 26 in Fort Mac. Good morning, Rob, or good morning, Brandon, was it? Okay, Dylan. So Dylan's confirming that it's about right there in Arkansas. Yep, I spend most of my Saturdays in the workshop here. Let me show you guys some of the knives that have been on this week and listed on the website this week. KyleKnowsworthy.com if you want to check it out. I believe, well, most of these are available, except for maybe one of these is a custom order and will be shipped out. And I'll show you. Here's a Tradesman. It's been sitting on the website for a little bit now, and I'm not sure why. It was a really, really sweet rendition of the Tradesman. It's a really nice look. I said the men are really gonna like that. And I've been doing several in the bright red and brighter colors, and I said I think the guys will really appreciate kind of a dark colored Tradesman with that sharp blue liner there. Got a polished tank, and it's been sitting there and it hasn't sold. I'm not sure why. The grind lines are really nice on it. The black burlap is just I thought I'd show it, put it in front of you guys just in case someone was interested. Just a great looking knife, done really nice. Overall fit and finish is spot on. If you're interested, it's on the website. Another Tradesman just came off this week. Little smudgy now, doesn't have its final oiling for shipping there right yet, the final prep. But this is a real nice Tradesman. I believe I have it on the website. I cleaned it up for the website for pictures and listed it. But it's got almost a slate gray G10, really nice, and then a black and a blue liner. I hope that's sharp enough to convey there, but a blue and a black liner, which is real crisp. Those two fine lines together, real nice. Grind lines on this one again, really good. Dad took the handle pins and everything up to a polished grade, hand sanded. It's just a beautiful piece, available on the website. Again, the Tradesman, real nice workhorse. Let me see if I can get one in a sheath here, which is not stitched, but that's about how it will stitch, or how it will fit in that sheath. You can hear the contractor there now. Morning, Mustang. How loud is that to you guys there? Good morning, Brian. Morning, Brian. Thank you, JP. I'm not sure I'd have to check the list. Which one did you order, JP? I'm curious which model, which handle. I have a gorgeous bake apple right here. Now I only brought one down, but Dad and I just finished a run of them, and they're so beautiful. Oh, black burlap. Nice choice on the bake apple. They are really sweet. But I just released, look at that, bake apple, saber grind. Hey, William. Morning, buddy. Thanks, Dylan, for confirming there. But we have, check that out. A natural micarta liner, and then I just noticed that looked like a separation or something in the camera, but I look and it's just a dark corner on the piece of wood there, just a little bit of darkness. But this is a blue curly maple. Certainly the figuring doesn't translate to just a cell phone camera, but beautiful. Oh, right there, that's the lighting right there. Look at that figuring. And a gorgeous forge finish. Blade that just came out nice. Again, saber grind. Bake apple is such a good pattern. There are many hundreds of these all over the world, and very nice, very nice, very nice. Hey Rick, buddy, they're in production here. I couldn't give you a time estimate right yet, but I'm hoping to jump on it, like dig in deeper very soon. Thanks, Steve. Ian, JP, good question. Do you prefer saber or Scandi? Myself, I prefer a saber grind. I think it's more universal. It's more, works a little better for an EDC type scenario, or Scandi grind is awesome in a bushcraft scenario and carving and whittling and things like that. But I don't like it as much if you're going to try to, you know, cut your steak at the table with it, or food prep, or things like that, dicing up some onions to throw in the cast iron pan. Scandi doesn't work as well. But then if you have no, JP, Scandi is good for bushcraft because that kind of stout wedge shape, sorry for the noise, that stout wedge shape performs really well at moving material. As you're cutting, it requires a little more force sometimes, but it does push material out a little better, and it's more stout in terms of being durable. And for field sharpening, I don't know if there's any difference in ease. I don't really think it's any easier to sharpen. Some people find it easier to sharpen on the stones. Then you have something like this gorgeous Master Hunter. Maybe I showed this one last week. Oh, that's right, Bluefin. You did that very first order. That, I believe that was some natural juniper wood here. Um, Yeah, that very first run of 10 I did way back in the day. Mustang 774 there is definitely a long time watcher, follower of my work. Long time. This is the new Master Hunter in a gorgeous piece of Buckeye burl, polished tang with orange liners. This thing's on the website right now, and it is just exquisite. So something like this, with that high, thin ground flat grind, would perform extremely well for food prep and stuff like that. Along with, of course, being an awesome camp knife. Um, yeah, just just great all around pattern. Yeah, I like Scandi, Steve. Scandi has been my one of my primary grinds here for a long time. Lately, I've been doing a nice bit more saber ground work, but I love it all. Brian, I saw your message there somewhere, um, on the fillet knife. I'll get back to you on it. I'm contemplating it. I work at this time exclusively with carbon steel, which I love carbon steel. But I don't know if I want to get into a line of like fishing knives or filleting knives until I start working with some stainless. I feel like I would want that in stainless. You can let me know what you think. If you would like one in carbon steel, I can definitely do that for you. But at this time, working just with carbon, um, I'm staying away from like the dedicated fishing knives, but I have built them for clients. I built one a couple years ago that was just gorgeous. I had to come back for a little bit of work there recently, just last year, but beautiful, beautiful knife. Let's pull up the chat. I see I'm missing a couple here. Charlie the Warrior, as it happens, I have one here right now, and this thing is gorgeous. Warrior is a very, very nice pattern. And again, okay, you've got to get with this like low contrast camera. In person, you can just see every rib or every ribbon that's in the material. Those beautiful stripes in the curly maple. Oh, see there? But in this low contrast camera, got to get the light just right to really show it. Look at that in that blue maple. Just wild. And then this has a polished tang. Look at that. Natural micarta liners. This is just a beast. Forged finish. Forged finish. High flat grind, fairly high. A beautiful swedge. This is just a big hunk of steel, 3/16 thick. The Warrior is a monster and a very nicely performing pattern. This would make a great big game hunting knife, great bushcraft knife, and it's got enough depth that it would do real well in like a camp food prep scenario, firecraft knife. Just work well in all of those uses. Yeah, Brandon. He's sheeting over downstairs office and lunchroom are building in out there right now. So that Warrior is available. Yeah, it's on the website right now, Charlie, if you want to go look. It'll come in a beautiful, although these ones here are not quite finished, mightn't be this exact sheath here. It'll come with a beautiful dangler sheath. These aren't stitched or anything, just working on what I'm doing here now. Dylan D2 works great for a fillet knife. 01, fairly similar to D2. A2, similar again. All just wonderful. I love these tried and true carbon steels. Just so good. And I don't mind them in moist environments. I run my blades like these in any kind of weather, and as long as you don't put them back in the shelf sapping wet in a sheath that's soaking wet, and then you pull it out and you're gonna have surface rust and stuff like that you have to clean up. But otherwise, as long as when you get home you give them a wipe down and dry them up. Oh, Charlie, you won't regret it. You won't regret it, my friend. But I have no problems with those carbon steels in that way. And to me, compared to like a stainless, I want that patina. For me, if I have a knife for 20 years and put 20 years use on it, I have knives now, that ones that I started with, would have been my first run of bake apples would have been, I think, late 2017, early 2018. So we're in going on 5-6 years now in my knife making career, and those early on knives in 01 steel just have that richness, and I want that in my knives. I don't want them to still look like I just made them. I don't want that. I like carbon steel for that richness and character built in. And that's why I like the forged finish blade, because I want that character. You can see, I just want some of that character when it starts. And I find that the forged finish also does a nice job at a rust protection. It's almost a mild hydrophobic layer. You get that oil baked, that oil quenched surface on the steel, and it just does a really, really nice job at repelling moisture. Dima, I'm in Newfoundland, Canada. Townie, good morning, sir. Yeah, William, you take care of them properly, and you won't have any problems. JP, yeah, I've been thinking hard about adding kitchen knives. I build custom kitchen knives to order right now, and I have basically since I started. Some of my earliest knives were chef's knives, and Brand New American? No, I have a bunch of bake apples on my website right now if you want to check it out. That's KyleKnowsWithYou.com. There's a bunch available there, different colors, and you can shop. I also have a couple here in stock, not listed on the site, in a couple different grinds. If you want to send me a private email, I can let you in on what that is, but yeah. Take care of good carbon steel, you've got a great steel, and I love the way it maintains and sharpens, and the character, I just love it. Let's see what you guys think of this one, because this one is a little bit out of the ordinary, a little bit off the charts, and it's going to be unique, probably more unique than anything you've seen in a while. Look at this. Look at that handle. Dad built this one. Dad put this design together. This is a tackamore. So the tackamore pattern, of course, is a pattern I've been making almost since the beginning, so for years now. This one is wearing a really crisp saber grind, so that's a nice, like, medium-high flat. Steve. Brian, get on, Steve. It's your time to go to work. But you see we have a polished tang here. But we have a brown burlap, a real coarse brown burlap, which is beautiful in itself. But then we have that hunter orange and a black orange spacer. Come on, Brian, get to work. Hey, Cyril, thanks for tuning in, my friend. But this is just a stunning creation. Just a beautiful, beautiful knife. Oh, and we have that thick black liner in there to top it off even further. You see that? G10 liner. This is just a gorgeous piece, and really excited about it. It's on the website right now. The price is great. The price is spot on. Come on, Steve. I think the price point, I tried to keep it really nice for you guys. I didn't want to price it out because handles like this, these, if you think about it, you have one with the liner. This is just one side of the knife, one scale. You have one piece in the liner, second piece in this brown burlap, third piece in this front orange. Then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spacers in here. So what were we up to? 1, 2, 3, and 5. So we have 8 pieces in one side of this handle. It's a tremendous amount of work. Every piece has to be cut out and set up and glued in the right way and faired off so the lines work well. It's really not easy to put scales like this together, but Dad does a really nice job, but it does eat some time. So you could be tempted to get carried away with the pricing, but I'm trying to keep these prices down because I want you guys to be able to enjoy them. I want you guys to be able to enjoy these different pieces. What are you guys saying there? Oh, looks like you guys are liking that. Take my money. Oh, sorry, my wife is just messaging, but I'm gonna just scrolling up through your comments because they're coming in fast here. Oh, Dylan, thanks so much for stopping in. I really appreciate your comments. It really helps. If you notice, last week during the live stream, I could see a lot of you guys were sitting here, not a lot of you commenting in. So I'm just sitting here kind of talking to you guys, and I don't mind talking, but when you guys are commenting, it just drives the conversation. It makes the half hour go by so quickly, and it just makes for a real nice live stream. JP, this is a one-off. JP says maybe Kyle will give us a deal if we all buy it. If I get a bunch of people message in for customs or for this to be replicated, I will see what I can do. But Ryan, I'll do that. Yeah, if you guys could hit the like button like Robert said there, that would be great. JP, yeah, I just swiped those out of the way. I think she's saying she's heading down to the shop shortly. John, sorry, I saw your comment there earlier, but I was talking about something else. Still working on the water supply situation. I need to get to ordering a pump. My task list now, and this is not a complaint at all. This is just me telling you what's happening. My task list right now is so long that I feel like I just going crazy because there's so many things to do. So thankful to have Dad here with me now, and Dad really helps out a lot with the shop work and different things. But my task list is so long that it's crazy. But I got to get a pump ordered in for that system. Before I run a pump, I want like a sediment filtration system because we pull water out of an above ground well system. So I don't want to destroy my new pump. And then I can plumb everything in. And then I'm trying to deal with the heating system here so that I can utilize the in-floor heating in a different way. Right now we have an external wood-fired boiler. I want to move away from wood because it's super inconvenient. So, Robert, custom orders. How long usually for custom orders in general? That really, really depends on the particular order, on my work list at the time, the complexity of the build. Sometimes I've had custom orders take year plus, and this order was placed just this past week because this happened to be somewhat simple order. I had everything sitting there ready to go, And so I came downstairs and I said, take that tackamore and put those scales on. It was just ordered by a client, and we had it there heat treated and ready to go. So it was just a piece of cake because everything was there. So this order will go out within 2 weeks of ordering it. JP, you usually don't get an email when you place an order from the website. It'll just arrive one day. You can shoot me a private email, and I'll be able to get you the information on when it shipped, or a lot of times I can get you tracking information. But the website, as it's set up, doesn't automatically provide you that information. It's definitely a system that would be cool to set up in the future. But what do you guys think of this Tackamore? JP, I'm glad you said that, because that's exactly what I was getting at. So I had a client contact me, and I believe I have some other work here, some sharpening or restoration work or something. Just slipping my mind right now. But we were talking, and he said, I want a custom knife, and I want it to have sort of a vintage, like 80s vibe. And he said, I'm attaching a picture here. With a color palette that would have been common in that time, and it was a black background, and it was all these lines of color. He said, what could we do there? And I said, whoa, I've got a sweet idea. I said, what if we did a black burlap, like that black in the picture? And then I said, let me not just pick one of those colors from that era. It was common to have a lot of the old trucks and vans and Jeeps and stuff at that time would like mix match these colors that don't seemingly match in like pinstripes and two-tones and stuff, right? So I said, what if I do a multicolored pinstripe against that black burlap? And I drew up a sketch for him and sent it to him, and he said, that's exactly what I want. And I just love it. Dad is so on it. He really likes the knife, but for me, it feels like one of my favorite Tackamores. That black burlap with those pinstripes, and then it's a solid black G10 between each one space. I don't know if you can tell, but lots of texture there in that black. Just really sweet. Now let me see what you guys are saying here. So JP was right on the money when he said it gives me an 80s vibe. That's exactly what the build was planned for. Yeah, Robert, timelines like that on builds are difficult. There's a couple builds here now I have that have been like long-standing builds that were placed like mid last year because they're complex, and some of them even require lathe work and stuff. So it's a little bit tricky to time stuff out, and sometimes it's just a matter of luck. Like this one, the materials were sitting there, the knife was the blade blank was heat treated, and it was just perfect timing that he ended up with a very quick build on that one. Doesn't very often happen like that. Rick, you'd be in for one. Let's do it, buddy. I have the materials here. Paint on the flatbed. Yeah, that would have been cool to do something like that on the flatbed. Brian, yeah, you're getting on Steve. I'm not sure Steve is still here or not, but really love that knife. So look at these two beautiful Tackamores. Look at that. Doesn't that just bring a little bit of joy to you? Really exciting. And then of course that warrior. I'll just keep flashing them in front just to pique your interest. Todd, great question. My favorite handle material to work with. Maybe I like working with woods because I know the dusts and stuff aren't as harmful when I'm working with it. So I like working with woods, and woods aren't as hard on grinding belts and blades and all stuff like that. When you get micartas in G10 is based on like a glass fiber. When it's put together, the glass fiber with the resin. So G10 is really hard on trying to cut it out with the bandsaw and stuff like that. But G10 grinds in really nicely and the belt grinder. Micarta is usually more natural fibered products, cotton or wool or burlap or linens infused with resin, and it cuts quite good. But it can be easier to, it's probably one of the hardest to work with. Let me try to get it out here. The natural fibers mix with the resin, and these resins can be hard to grind sometimes, and they can fill up grinding belts. And they burn because they're natural fibers. So because you can't evacuate the material fast enough, if your grinding belt is not really sharp and crisp, you burn the ends of the fiber and it destroys the color. So it's really difficult, and sometimes you can have a belt that feels almost new, but because that little bit of crispness comes off of it, I have to swap it out, sorry, for a fresh cutting belt with those real sharp granulates, because it's burning the material, it's darkening the color. So G10 might be the most easy to put a good finish on, but materials like this curly maple is really a joy to work with. It's wood dust, it's wood dust. It's not quite as harmful to work with here in the building, not quite as hazardous if you're looking at that measure. It cuts super easy on the bandsaw. You can do really nice stuff with it. Wood is very porous, so it glues up well in terms of putting liners and things like that. It has a lot for epoxy to get into. And you can just bring it to a glass-like finish with premium materials like this here. You can put on a glass-like polished finish, and it doesn't eat up all your bandsaw blades and belts and stuff. So probably exotic woods. That's a long, long way around, but I hope it gives you some information. Exotic stabilized woods are probably my favorite. Like on this Master Hunter here, how do you get much prettier than that? And it's polishes, you can see, like glass, cuts well on the bandsaw, glues up well. Just really, really nice. John, are there black spacers at the end of the red and blue strips? No, there aren't. Goes right into the burlap micarta. You see that? That would have been an unnecessary addition, I would say. Rick, thanks for stopping in, buddy. Thanks for stopping in. Just reading back through your comments, because as I'm talking, they're getting away, so I'm swiping up through them here on my phone. Thank you, Robert. Townie, yeah, the pine cone is beautiful. JP, I don't know if there are diamond coated belts anywhere. Ceramic are considered pretty much the top in what is attainable and high performing. And I carry a lot of ceramic belts here, but then a lot are zirconia. I have a few like aluminum oxides that I use for soft stuff, and that I use for on my scallop belts. They're usually aluminum oxide. They're a cheaper belt, and they're disposable, and they're only using fine grades anyways. So I use aluminum oxide and zirconia for that stuff. But ceramic is considered some of the best. Robert, I source on micarta. I just don't have the time at this point in my career to make my own. And there are guys out there specializing in that. So I don't think it's necessary to add that here. I can just support their businesses by buying some premium micarta, and they have it dialed in. Steve, micarta does have a nice in the hand feel, definitely. It's kind of a warm feel. Yep, Alan, your gear is shipped out, buddy. Your prevail and your sheath. Who was it? Was it Clinton that asked that last question there? Yeah, Clinton. Hey, buddy. Some of the belts are omnidirectional. Doesn't matter. A lot of them are directional. And sometimes it does help a little bit to flip them around, but only because our body tends to favor working one side than the other. So by flipping them around, you put the kind of the fresher side on the other side, just so they wear evenly. But it doesn't generally help because the grain is sticking out like this. So it's not like a piece of metal where you kind of wear them down on one side. They shear. So you're left with unsharpened nubs. So it doesn't really help you a lot to switch it around in terms of your teeth being down versus up. It doesn't work like that. Any last questions for me? Usually do 30 minutes, but you guys have been so chit-chatty that we're approaching 40 now. I'm gonna head back to work here. So if you want to check out my website, KyleKnowsWithYou.com, a lot of really beautiful stuff on there now. Some videos coming up. Yeah. Rex, definitely a great to-do list. I'm a blessed man, very fortunate to have all this work to do, to keep me busy and healthy and strong and able to do it, and I've got some support around me, like the gentleman out here now, that even though while I'm sitting talking to you guys like this, there's work getting done out there. So thanks so much for tuning in. I've enjoyed this to the full. And coming up, I'm gonna have a lot more content coming. That's the plan. I have a cool idea. For June month. So have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Let's get you off the stand here. I'm back to work. Check out my website. Just got to decline my wife's call here. Check out the website, KyleKnowsWithYou.com. And there's some beautiful stuff for you to take advantage of, including some of the knives. Have a great day, guys. Yeah. JP, you got to do what you got to do. Check out the website. Buy something today. Treat yourself. Have a good day.